Have you ever paid money for doing nothing? Not buying something, not making a bad investment, just waiting. I have. Late fees, missed deadlines, lost chances. And the strange thing is, no one warns you when it's happening. There's no receipt, no notification, no alert that says, you are now being charged for procrastination. It just quietly shows up later. As stress, as regret, as that heavy feeling in your chest when you realize you knew better. We're taught that procrastination wastes time, but time is just the surface level cost. Time is what you notice. What you don't notice is everything underneath it, because procrastination doesn't just take minutes from your day. It takes clarity from your mind, energy from your body, and confidence from your future self. Think about it. That bill you didn't want to open, it didn't disappear. It waited and grew. That email you avoided replying to, now it's awkward. Now it's stressful. Now it's heavier than it ever needed to be. Procrastination doesn't remove problems, it upgrades them. And it does it slowly. So slowly that you barely feel it happening. That's why it's dangerous. Procrastination speaks in a soft voice. It says, you're tired. You deserve a break. You'll do better tomorrow. And sometimes it's right. But the problem is, procrastination doesn't know the difference between rest and escape. Rest restores you. Procrastination drains you while pretending it's rest. And the average person loses over 2 hours a day to it. 2 hours. That doesn't sound dramatic. 2 hours feels harmless, almost invisible. But 2 hours a day becomes 14 hours a week, 56 hours a month, nearly 700 hours a year. That's an entire month of your life. Every year. A full month that could have gone into learning something new, improving your health, building something meaningful, or simply feeling proud of yourself. Instead, it leaks away. And what replaces it isn't peace, it's pressure. Because those unfinished tasks don't leave your mind. They camp there. You're watching a show, but half your brain is thinking, I should be doing that thing. You're trying to relax, but your body stays tense. That's not rest. That's mental overtime, unpaid. Now let's talk about money. Because this is where procrastination gets brutally honest. Late fees are the obvious ones. Interest charges, missed discounts, rush fees you pay because you waited too long. But the biggest money losses don't show up on bank statements. They show up as almosts. Almost started that business. Almost learned that skill. Almost applied for that job. Almost invested early. Procrastination turns potential into what if. And what if is one of the most expensive places you can live. Every time you delay, you're making a choice, even if it doesn't feel like one. You're choosing to keep things exactly as they are. And if you're unhappy with where you are, cost. Then there's the emotional tax. This is the one no one prepares you for. The quiet anxiety. The low-grade guilt that never fully goes away. The constant sense that you're behind. No matter how busy you are, procrastination adds weight to everything. A 5-minute task becomes a monster. A simple decision turns into weeks of overthinking. And eventually, something even more damaging happens. You stop trusting yourself and breaking them. I'll start Monday. I'll do it tomorrow. Each broken promise chips away at your confidence until one day the problem isn't the task anymore. The problem is the belief. I don't follow through. But here's the truth. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not weak, you're human. We procrastinate because tasks are uncomfortable, because uncertainty feels dangerous, because starting exposes us to failure. Our brains are wired to avoid pain, even small pain. So procrastination becomes a coping mechanism, a short-term solution to emotional discomfort. But short-term solutions come with long-term consequences. And once I understood that, something shifted. My wake-up call wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. There was no big moment of failure. It was a realization. I noticed that procrastination was already costing me. Every single day, I was paying with stress, with rushed nights, with opportunities that quietly expired. So I stopped asking myself, do I feel like doing this? Because the answer was almost always no. Instead, I asked a different question. What does delaying this cost me? Not in theory, not in the future, today. And when I looked at it that way, things changed. Because suddenly, starting, even imperfectly, was cheaper than avoiding. 5 minutes of discomfort was better than 5 hours of mental stress. Sending the email was easier than thinking about sending it all day. Starting messy was lighter than carrying the weight of not starting at all. And that's when I realized something important. Action isn't the opposite of procrastination. Awareness is. The moment you see the price tag, you stop pretending it's free. Because procrastination always charges you. You can pay with regret, stress, and lost time. Or you can pay with a little discomfort, a little effort right now. Either way, the cost is real. The difference is who you're paying, your future self, or your present comfort. So the next time you feel the urge to delay, don't ask, can I do this later? Ask, what will this cost me if I don't? Because once you see the bill, it's hard to ignore it. Hit the subscribe button for more